Cigarettes, Juul, vape, e-cigarettes are all smoking products. Almost everybody knows what a cigarette is, but not everybody knows what a Juul is, or a vape, or an e-cigarette, because it's a new popular trend nowadays. And almost everyone is smoking some shape or form of a nicotine product, especially among the youth. Nicotine has become unavoidable in a high school setting especially. Everybody's peer pressuring you and it's really hard to avoid it. While they're all consumed with the rave, little do they know they are slowly killing themselves. But here's a little background on what a Juul is. A Juul is a small little e-cigarette that looks like a flash drive. That is why it is so easy for high schoolers and even middle schoolers to sneak it into their schools, because they can pretend they're going to use it for educational purposes when that's not the case. These students are looking for a sweet release. Juuls do not necessarily contain all the nasty chemicals that a cigarette does, but it does the same amount of damage. As Carolyn Key will further explain from her article, everything you need to know about the Juul and the health effects. They can deliver nicotine like a regular cigarette, but without the tobacco burning and carcinogen-laden smoke, which shows why it can be so addictive, especially to new youthful smokers, because it doesn't burn when they begin to use that product, as a cigarette would burn. Like Russell, Hasten, and McKegney say in their article, since their introduction to the U.S. market in 2007, e-cigarettes have rapidly grown in popularity among adults in several countries as an alternative to smoking conventional cigarettes, which shows that it's even popular in the adult population, not just the youth. But it is becoming a hot commodity. A large sum of cigarette users are slowly switching to e-cigarettes because it's so much cleaner, though they say. They claim to be healthier, but they really aren't. They do the same amount of damage as a regular cigarette. Addiction is occurring in so many teens nowadays. So many high schoolers, even younger kids, are starting to smoke because it is so easy to get a handle on with the e-cigarettes. As Janie O'Donnell gets a quote from Dr. Harold J. Faber says, nicotine is very dangerous for kids and teenagers because their brain is still developing, and nicotine is a gateway drug. It primes the brain so things like cocaine and heroin are more rewarding, and that's terrifying for parents to think about. If they were able to get the products banned, it would hopefully decrease child users, since it's terrible for them, and hopefully decrease the smoking population altogether. It really should be banned because O'Donnell says about 34 million adults still smoked in 2017 and 2.7 million middle school and high school students smoked cigarettes and cigars. This shows how the vast population included young smokers. Even though the statistics are 2 years old, by now they have increased, and that is haunting. To break it down even further from the article, From E-Cigs to Tobacco, here is how nicotine affects the body. Rajiv Bal says, according to the data from 2017 National Youth Tobacco Use Survey, almost 3 million high school students and 670,000 middle school students use tobacco products, which looks even worse. Look how many middle school students are now smoking and getting addicted to this nicotine. That is not okay. They need to get this banned. These are a lot of people that would love to get rid of the addictiveness in nicotine because they do want to help decrease the smoking population. That's why Conley says a large majority of the U.S. population supports reducing nicotine in cigarettes to non-addictive levels, especially if this could play a role in protecting children. Even he realizes that these young children are getting addicted to these products and that it is not okay. Even though there are people who are for getting rid of it, there are a population of people who still would like to keep it around. As Driffel, Jones, and Crotty say, not only did bans affect their cash flow and therefore reduce their funds, the effect of banning this nicotine would cause people to lose their jobs and would cause corporations to shut down. And that's a terrible thing, but in the long run, it would help everyone. Because O'Donnell states, people, many of whom will die prematurely of heart disease, cancer, stroke, and other tobacco-related illnesses. Yet again, another reason to start this ban against these products. All of these are reasons that show why nicotine should be gotten rid of. Juuling and e-cigarettes are way too accessible, especially among the youth. Nobody wants their children addicted to these terrible products. And it's just way too popular and way too easy to get a hold of. And nicotine causes a lot of health problems among these people.